So we got ourselves another mass firing, huh? Like, what's really messed up about this is that like Peyton Royce was definitely coming into her own when she went on that episode of Talking Smack and just basically set her status as as being next in line to become women's champion. Then you have Billie Kay, who was having this amazing storyline where she was like basically throwing out her resume. Come on, like it's unbearable. I think one of the big things about the one of the things that hurt me the most about seeing those mass firings is like imagine one to be a wrestler, you know? Imagine actually training to be a wrestler, like working at it every day. You know what I mean? You go out of your way to you work out, you eat healthy, you train, you go to the nearest wrestling ring you could and you take bumps and you run the ropes and you do everything in your power to get to where you need to go to. And then when you finally get done training, I'm talking about like maybe about a good year or two afterwards, you're now doing indie shows. You're running, you're going from state to state, city to city, possibly country to country, because your goal in life is to become a WWE superstar. You do all these things, you get the call up, and it's the most exciting call you will ever get in your life as a wrestler. And then you just sort of get put in hell. You get put in not hell, you get put in purgatory, which is worse. You know, they don't do anything with you. You find yourself asking, when am I gonna, be able to do more than what I'm doing? I have the potential. You saw the potential in me. That's why you brought me here. And next thing you know, you're being sent to catering, and then your future endeavored. So all that hard work was for nothing. It's the most painful thing, you know. Now a lot of these wrestlers who did leave were ultimately kind of they had pretty good careers already. Joe has had his fair share of title runs. The Iconics were I think the second ever the women's tag team champions. Which, and let's face it, they're good. They were really good, and we really don't take into consideration how good they were. They were awesome to watch. I had a lot of hope for Chelsea Green. I don't know why, but part of me was just really, really, really like just looking forward to seeing Chelsea Green just excel. And then how you gonna bring back Mickey James and then just man, it's crazy because like as a wrestling fan, like as a wrestling fan, it's weird because like some of your favorite wrestlers just got like shelled off. But for me, being a wrestler, like it's the biggest slap in the face. It's like all that hard work for nothing. So like now I'm starting to like think to my like when I was initially starting off in professional wrestling or when I wanted to become a wrestler, one of the biggest goals of mine was to go to WWE and be like the big time WWE star and be able to just get on that second rope in front of all those people, put my hands up, and the whole crowd just goes nuts, Like me point to that one guy in the crowd and they freak out like, "Oh my God, he's pointing at me!" And then I realized like, I'm not that tall. I'm not exactly Mr. Six Pack, you know, and I'm not exactly the right complexion. But the fact is that like I do still want to be a wrestler. And that's when it started to sort of like spawn in my head that there's a lot of wrestling companies that we could be making into like these bigger companies now. I mean, like when I was growing up, we had WCW, WWE, and ECW, and then ECW and WCW folded, and it was just WWE and NWA in spurts, and then NWA got TNA, and then Ring of Honor started to reveal itself, and you had PWG and IWA, and you know, one PW and PWU and Full Impact in Florida, and OVW, and yeah, like all of these companies, like professional wrestling has now become much grander than it will ever be. You know what I'm saying? And my God, I am getting fat. Um, but yeah, it's crazy because like professional wrestling is bigger, and we still have more focus on WWE, and it's just upsetting because WWE, it keeps on, doing things that the fans don't like, and the fans still keep watching. It's wild, man. I couldn't tell you anything that actually happened in WWE. I haven't watched since Murphy was with Rey Mysterio's daughter. I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but I don't care. I stopped watching as soon as that happened. And then all of a sudden, Orton becomes champion. I didn't like that either. Flip the table. I was like, screw that. But I learned that AQA from Reality of Wrestling went to NXT, and I wanted to see that match. And I mean, AQA is good. Like, please keep an eye out. If WWE does right by her, she is going to be probably the biggest wrestler there, which is saying a lot because she's only about like this tall standing up. She ain't gonna watch this. She ain't gonna care. But yeah, it's a lot that sort of goes into this, and it's very upsetting to know that this mass firing is happening. But on a good foot, the Indies got like a lot of talent to bring in. You got Tucker is ready to just light up some podcast. Chelsea Green, once again, she has a future in the company. Samoa Joe, everybody wants to fight him all of a sudden. Um, there's a lot of positives here, but it's at the same time it's still kind of insulting to see that WWE is still this super entity that just wants to sort of acquire talent, ruin them, and then just sort of send them on their way after like years of imprisoning them in some fashion. But yeah, man, the Indies got, like I said, the Indies won, AEW won, PWG won, Reality of Wrestling won, MLW won. All these other companies, they won because now they get a chance to say former WWE talent. You have any idea how many people are going to flock to that? It's awesome. But yeah, like one thing about me is once I get done training, like my goal isn't even to go to WWE anymore. If I go there, that'd be great, but I'm not really like gonna push for it too hard as I initially wanted to. My goal now is Reality of Wrestling because it's Booker T. And the more you're indie, the more the more you can do things, the more freedom you have. It feels like, it seems like. So yeah, there's that. Also, at some point, I'm gonna probably be like doing some fake wrestling promos on here. So if you're watching, first off, I appreciate you for watching and thank you. But just know that the fake wrestling promos are gonna be kind of bizarre. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be you're gonna probably look at this and be like, "That's not a good promo." And just feel free to actually leave some comments about it. I do better with comments than I do with likes and dislikes. Because I crave interaction. But that's it though. Love and peace. Y'all have a good one. Be safe out there. And also, Dave Meltzer is completely useless in the professional wrestling world. I'm saying that just because I'm trying to get a little bit more attention here. Because yeah, completely useless. Has done zero, nothing.